Hello, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be learning how to make this cool little bracket. Nice and basic. You can 3D print this if you wanted to, or you create some other designs from it, but just a nice basic little bracket. I'm going to start with a new design. And the first thing we need to do is sketch out the base. So we're going to go to the sketch tool up here. We want to select the bottom plane for this. I'm going to use the rectangle tool. I'm going to use the center point rectangle tool, so it's on the center of the plane. Okay, and I'm just going to type 60 in there because it's going to be 60 long, and it is going to be 30 wide, but I'm still going to type it in. So if you press Tab, you'll switch to the other dimension, and then you can hit 30, and then just press Enter, and that'll finish that sketch for that rectangle for the base. Now, my bracket had a rounded end on it, so I'm going to take the circle tool. I'm going to use the 3-point circle tool, and I'm going to put the first point right in the center at the top, and then I can put my second point about 3. You see the 3 squares on the third line down, and then the next one opposite it. Okay, so I get this nice circular edge, and then I'm going to go to my snipping tool, my trim tool up here, cut these corners off like this, and then I'm just going to cut out this circle, so I get this sort of like rectangle with a rounded end on it. Okay, and that's going to make up my base, so I'm just going to hit the finish button, and that's what I'm going to end up with there. So now I need to select that and use the extrude tool, which is up here in the top left. I'm going to extrude this out 5 mil. So I'm just going to press 5 so that it goes in my dimension there, and press enter. So now this is going to be my base here. Our thickness is 5 mil, and we've got this nice rounded edge. So to do the next part, I'm going to need to do the same thing upwards off of this. Okay, so I'm going to take my extrude. Sorry, no, I'm not. I'm going to take my sketch tool, and then I'm going to click the face of the base, because I'm going to sketch in this corner up here. So I want my 2-point rectangle again. I'm going to click in the corner and then click in the bottom. Now, the squares are 5 mil, and that's how wide I want it to be. But if that wasn't the case, I could just type in the top 5 mil. So I'm just going to click there and create my little rectangle for the thickness of the upright. I'm going to click finish sketch because that's all I'm going to do. And as you can see, this has done the sketch on the top plane now. It's not done it on the base, which is what we want. So I'm going to click that rectangle. I'm going to click extrude, which is over here. I'm going to go up 55 mil because our base is already 5 mil deep. Okay, so 55 and press enter. Now my top corner isn't rounded, so I want to do that the same as I've done with the other one. So I'm going to click this face here, and then click my sketch tool, and then I'm going to select my circle tool again, and I'm going to go for my 3-point circle again. So I'm going to go top corner, down 3, and then bring it to this point here. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do here, because I want a screw hole in the center of this circle, of this circular end, so I'm going to put another circle in so I can do these both at the same time. And then I'm just going to make my circle 5 mil. Press enter, so it's got a 5 mil diameter. I'm going to get my trim tool again and cut off this bottom edge. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to finish my sketch. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to my extrude tool, but this time I'm going to hold control, and I'm going to click here, here, and then the circle as well. So if I just go to the front view so you can see that, I've selected the circle and then these top 2 corners. Click the home to go back again. Now I'm going to cut through all. So I want to go in the other direction, like this, and then I'm going to go to here where it says extent type, and I'm going to click all, and that'll cut through everything, okay, no matter how thick or thin it is. I click OK. So I've got this nice rounded top, and I've got my screw hole in the middle. So now I need to put a screw hole in the base as well. So I'm going to click this again. I'm going to click my sketch tool, So I'm on this top face again now, and I'm going to take my circle tool, and I haven't got a line here as such, but I have got my squares from my grid, and that does happen to be my center point. Okay, I'm going to show you what you can do. So I'm going to get a line here. I'm going to select construction line in this, so where it says line type, I'm going to click this construction line, and then I'm going to place my first point at the edge of the curve, and my second point at the edge of the other curve, and I'll get this nice line, this construction line down the center. And if this wasn't on this center piece here, I could do the same by getting the center of my circle here and just drawing a line down to the middle here. Okay, and then I've got a nice cross with a construction line. Just hit escape to end that. So now what I'm going to do, now that I've got my construction lines, is I'm going to turn construction lines off, select my circle, and then click in the center and bring this out to 5 mil. Like that. Okay, so now I've got a nice circle in the center. So I can finish this sketch, and I want to select that circle there. Okay, if it's a bit difficult to select, you can just zoom in and like that. And I want the extrude function again. I'm going to cut through all, same as we did before. So I'm going to go to distance and go through all and click OK. Right, so now I've got this bracket. It's got mounting points on it, nice rounded edge, but it's not very strong. So one of the things I need to do is put a piece in to strengthen it. So I'm going to go back to my sketch tool, but this time I'm going to select this plane, which is in the center of my design. Okay, and I'm just going to draw a square, a rectangle, should I say? Well, it is a square in here. I'm going to make it 35 by 35, like that, by selecting that corner. Okay, and now I've got this square. Second thing I'm going to do is take my line tool, draw a line from one corner to the other, take my trim tool, trim off these edges, and now I've sketched out a nice triangle. Click finish sketch. So now I've got a triangle down the center of our bracket. So I'm going to click my triangle, go to my extrude function, and then I'm going to change the direction to symmetrical. So now it will go out in both directions. Okay, and I can make it as wide as I want depending on how strong I want it to be. But I'm going to make mine 5 mil, but that's 5 mil in either direction, so it's 10 mil in total. Then we've got join selected on the operation, so that'll just join together when we click OK. And now our bracket's pretty much finished. We've got this nice strengthening piece in the middle, we've got a nice rounded top and bottom, and we've got some screw holes. But what we can do to make this a little bit better is, the first thing we can do is we can countersink these screw holes. So I'm just going to select the edges here. I'm going to hold control, so I select both circles at the same time. And I'm going to go up to modify here, and then we've got a chamfer tool. So when I select my chamfer tool, I can select how big of a chamfer I want to do. So I could do 1 mil, I could do 2 mil. 2 mil looks about right. 3 mil's probably a little bit big. So you see how it's turned red there. That's because 3 mil's too big and it's getting caught on the support bracket. So we'll go for 2 mil there. Nice 2 mil, nice deep 2 mil chamfer there to countersink those holes. Then just click enter. So that's my chamfer done. Next thing I probably want to do is round off some of these edges to make them look a bit nicer. So I'm going to hit control and I'm going to select all my edges that I want to round off around the outside. So it'll be all of these. If you can't quite get your edges, you can either use the box at the top to spin it around to see it, or you can hold shift and press your middle mouse button to move it around as you need. But we're just going to select these ones here. I think we'll also take these two on the inside as well, like that. And then we're going to go to fillet up here. So this is very similar to the chamfer tool. If I go in 1 mil, we'll get a nice little rounded edge there. That looks quite nice like that. Let's go back to home so we can see that a bit better. I can go quite a bit. I'll go 2 mil, you know. If I use a little arrow, I can probably go a bit more. You can see I can go up to like 5 mil, which is the width of the whole thing. That might be what you're looking for. I just want a little 1 mil one, so I'm just going to click enter on that. And then with this supporting bracket, I actually want to round this one off quite a bit. So I'm going to click the two edges like that, and then I'm going to go to my fillet, I'm going to round this off a little bit more, and I'm going to take it all the way up so that it's rounded off all the way around like that. Okay, click OK. And then just to finish it off, we'll do these two little bits as well. Let's go to the other side. We'll just fillet them off as well, make it look pretty. Should we do 1 mil? I think 1 mil's about right. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, and now we have this nice little bracket. Yeah, I think that even looks better than the one I did before. Yeah, it kind of does. I think I prefer that one. Okay, so yeah, so that's how to make a nice little bracket. This will 3D print nicely as well on your 3D printer if you're doing this for a 3D print. As with all my videos, this is done on the hobby version of Fusion 360. So all of this can be done on the hobby version, which is the free version of Fusion 360. Okay, but yeah, so there you go. Nice little bracket. Hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure you subscribe. I'll be doing a few more basics videos, quite a lot more basics videos, hopefully, and teaching you all how to use Fusion 360. Okay, so thank you very much and goodbye.